so good.
Every day that I wake, every breath that I take, you've given. So right here, right now, while the sun is shining.
Charlie and I just wanted to say good morning and we miss you this morning.
Like there's no tomorrow, like I'm on borrowed time.
That's the stuff, Dan.
It's good to be alive.
First of all, Terry and I and Charlie want to say thank you so much to our family. We appreciate you so much for your love, for your support, for your prayers. Hannah and Nate and Emily doing so much for us out behind the scenes with our packages and logistics and handling all of our stuff at home. We're just grateful. We couldn't be here doing this without all of that. And for all of you that are friends, what can we say? You guys have been more of an encouragement than you know. We're overwhelmed by all those that are liking us on Facebook and 300 on Twitter now, and now we have, I don't know, close to 100 subscribers on YouTube. It's just amazing that there's that many people that would be interested in a couple of old farts hiking in the woods. But anyway, you're all such an encouragement to us, and we just want to say thanks. Leaving Michigan was a bittersweet thing, because this is a trip we've been looking forward to for many years, but at the same time, when we were planning the trip, we didn't anticipate a brand new baby granddaughter, Lydia. She was almost 2 months old when we left, and we're already missing her horribly. But the adventure beckons, and we were prepared, and so off we went. And the morning we left, we rented a rental car, a one-way rental car, and said goodbye, and we were gone. And we picked a great day to leave because there was a storm coming in, and we had to drive 600 miles in the rain, which was interesting in itself, through the traffic down 75. See you, Michigan.
Welcome to Kentucky. Welcome to Tennessee. And it's still raining.
Off the next day to a beautiful drive through North Carolina. Went through the Smoky Mountains. We stopped at Rippling Water Kennels, where Charlie's going to be staying while we're hiking through the Smoky Mountains. Visited with those people and saw what the kennel looked like and let Charlie smell around. We thought was important. We returned the car to Gainesville, Georgia, and it was there that we were picked up by a shuttle driver named Wes Wisson. He's been shuttling hikers for 24 years. And in fact, he was the shuttle driver that took Bill Bryson on his trip before he wrote his book, A Walk in the Woods. Wes delivered us from Gainesville to our second night of stay, and that was at the Forest Hills Resort. Beautiful little cabin, number 2. It was a gorgeous cabin. It was wonderful. I mean, it even had a hot tub in the. We didn't anticipate any of this. Didn't know it was coming, and it was just a great blessing. A beautiful porch with a swing, with a nice view, and it was just perfect for what we needed, for sure. That night when we were there, we were still like 5 or 6 miles from the visitor center, the approach trail where we were actually going to start hiking, and didn't have a ride. Didn't know how we were going to get there. And a lady on YouTube, Patty Yarbrough, contacted us on Twitter and wanted to know if we wanted a ride. She lived locally and knew we needed a ride, and so she offered it to us, and she met us that morning at 8 o'clock and took us to the visitor center. That was our first trail angel, and what a blessing it was to just ride out of the blue like that. Thank you, Patty, if you're watching this. After Patty dropped us off, of course, the visitor center was right there. We officially weighed our packs on the outside. There's a scale out there where everybody weighs your packs, and I think Charlie's weighed in at 6.5 pounds, and mine was 36, and Terry's was 26. Okay, here's Charlie's pack. Hanging on the scale at Amicable Falls.
I think it's
36.
36. Oh. Not too bad.
There. 26 pounds. After weighing our packs, we went inside the visitor center and officially signed the register as thru hikers for the 2013 season, and I was number 88 and Terry was number 89. However, that's not a true reflection of how many people are already hiking. Only about a third of the hikers actually sign the official register. Most hikers just drive right up and avoid the approach trail altogether and don't even sign the register. So, but in any event, we were number 88 and 89. After we left the inside of the visitor center and went outside, there's the beautiful arch that everyone has seen. It's the beginning really of the Appalachian Trail. It's not at the terminus obviously, but it's kind of the unofficial arch to Springer Mountain. And we stood there and talked and cried and laughed and just we were standing on the threshold of a dream, and it was a very precious time. Here we go. This is it. After years and years of dreaming, we are finally there, and we appreciate the moment more than you know. And after the arch and lifting our packs and taking our first steps on the approach trail, you understand that the approach trail is 8.8 miles long, and they're all miles that don't even count. And that was my idea to do. I wanted to do the whole thing, and I didn't want to skip any of it, even if it wasn't official. So we started out and took off and got the packs on our backs, and the reality hit us really quick when we started the 604 steps straight up. It was one of those, where we made it, with a few stops obviously, but at the top your legs are just kind of jelly.
Down there is where we came from. We're only 1/3 of the steps up. How you doing?
We're a third of the way. All is well. I only threw up twice.
You're a good boy, Charlie. Walking up all those stairs.
We're on our way. Then we were on our way to Black Gap Shelter, which would be our first shelter of our experience, and I can tell you that throughout this day, it got very cold indeed. It wasn't snowing, but it was cold, and we were wearing everything we had on us. We even set the tent up inside of the shelter, thinking that might help, but I don't believe it did. I think we've been better off on the ground where it would have been a little warmer. But we set the tent up in the shelter, and of course Charlie had all his clothes on. He didn't necessarily look like he was having a good time. The first dinner we had was one of Terry's dehydrated beef stroganoff meals, and it never tasted better. It was so good. It was fantastic. The next morning when we got up was the most miserable of all. We don't have any video of it. We don't have a video of a lot of things now because it was just so cold. It was very difficult to take your fingers out of your gloves to use. But as we're hiking up the trail, there's this really interesting frost. Now, neither one of us are sure of what it's called, whether it's hoary frost or whatever it is, but it's moisture that just seeps right up out of the soil and comes up, like 2-3 inches in these beautiful artistic arrangements of frost. I've never seen anything like that before, but Terry just loved walking along and knocking the frost down, because as soon as you touch it, it would fall. It was so fragile. When we neared the top of Springer Mountain, the trees, everything was frost. Everything was everything was white. It was just, it's like a fantasy fairyland walking through this forest near the top of the hills that was just totally white. And then it seems like right out of nowhere, bang, we were there.
We've arrived.
Very unpretentious spot in the woods. Just walk up to, and all of a sudden, we're standing at the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. After years of dreaming and a year of planning and 3 days of driving and hiking, we made it to the terminus of the Appalachian Trail. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Well, God, we made it. Here we go, buddy. You're stepping on the hiker. That's what you think about it? Oh, jeepers. Everybody.
Well, you ready?
I've never been more ready in my whole life. Gosh. We're really here.
We're here.
We're really starting now.
Now we can start counting.
Now we can start counting. It couldn't have been more spectacular for me. It's one of those moments that I had thought about and dreamed about for so long. It was surreal. It was just spectacular. And after we met some people there and talked for a while, then it was time to move on and move past our very first blaze and start our trip. And off we went to Mount Katahdin in Maine.
Tom.
Oh, wait. Now go.
Tom, we just have a few suggestions here for you as you head out on the trail,
Just a few.
so that you can keep Terry happy and comfortable and cared for while she's out there.
Which is very important.
Okay, so first off, what I want you to know is that periodically she's going to need a pedicure.
Oh, every week.
And
eating breakfast out at least once a week.
she's going to need a bubble bath.
Oh, weekly.
I was just going to say once in a while, but weekly?
Weekly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weekly
all
bubble
that
bath?
stuff I'll
Oh, yeah.
hooked into. Oh, yeah, weekly.
Okay.
And lunch out weekly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
The wine.
she's going to need trail wine. She'll have to have trail wine. You're going to have to gear up Chuck with some type of a little bag or bottle holder so that you can have at
Yeah.
least a little bit of wine on the trail.
And dinner out.
With
What?
wine? With wine?
With
Once
wine.
a week?
Weekly.
Okay,
yeah,
once a week
weekly
with
sounds
wine.
good. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
and she's going to want to sleep in a real bed.
Oh, yes. At least once a week. Yeah. And a massage.
She's going to need a massage.
You know, with her knee and massage. What? Weekly?
Weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Boy, that's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of
every
weekly.
week.
Yeah, you guys are going to be really busy with Tom. You're going to be really busy with all that caring for Terry.
It's going to take you a week every week to do all the weekly stuff. So,
You guys-
have fun!
Right here, right now, this is the song I'm singing out. I wanna live like there's no tomorrow, like I'm on borrowed time. It's good to be alive. I wanna live like there's no
The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They'll soar high on wings like eagles. They'll run and not grow weary. They'll walk and